Talk 560, KSFO.
I think you've led a life that's brought you to this moment. I'm happy for you that you're going to be able to express yourself in this way as Secretary of State and for your family. So I really am thrilled that you're in a position that I know you've longed for and think you can make a major difference in.
Sport coat and a pea.
You know why I thought of this song to go with John Kerry being confirmed as Secretary of State? He always struck me as one of those guys who always had a white sport coat and a smirk. I always hated those guys in high school. Well, whatever. It's a long time ago. So I went to the museum to get away from this communist regime for an hour or so. And I mean, I'm not a royalist. I hated the royal family, but the art objects that were personally owned by members of the French monarchy from the time of Louis XIV until the French Revolution of 1789 were made by artisans, and they're simply amazing to look at. They're dazzling. When you look at the snuff boxes of gold and diamonds that were given to each other, you have to wonder. I mean, the artwork is astounding. Of course, that wouldn't be acceptable today to the progressives. I mean, in fact, they should do what the Khmer Rouge did, which is burn the museums to the ground, after all, or melt down the snuff boxes and use the gold for fillings or something for the poor. But if you look up the word museum, it's an interesting derivation. I escape in the museum is probably not enough. I really should go there more often. A temple of the muses, a study, a temple of the muses. Muse, to dream. That's where I go to dream. So if I look at an artwork, I get into a dreamlike state if it takes me out of my state, my current state of mind. I swear to God, I didn't really think of Obama or Rand Paul or Hillary Clinton. I was able to escape the migraine of these people. These people are like a constant migraine. It's like you need ergot every time Hillary speaks. Ergotamine is the only thing that can put her out of your mind. Snuff taking was very popular since it was discovered by a Spanish monk during Columbus's second journey to the Americas from 1493 to 1496. And he noticed that the Haitians were sniffing snuff. And so the French ambassador in Lisbon, Portugal, sent snuff to Catherine de Medici to treat her son's migraines, if I recall. And that popularized snuff-taking among the elite. Now, by the 17th century, snuff had become so popular that some people like Bloomberg objected to snuff-taking. That's right. There were antecedents to Bloomberg. Pope Urban VIII threatened to excommunicate snuff-takers. In Russia, in the 1600s, Tsar Michael instituted the punishment of removing of the nose, took off the nose. Bloomberg would like to take off the tongue of anyone who drinks a 32-ounce soda, but he can't do that. But Tsar Michael punished people by taking off the nose of those who use snuff. Nevertheless, snuff use persisted the same way cocaine use persists, despite the harsh punishments here in America. King Louis XIII became a devout snuff taker, and it spread even to China. It was the tobacco product of choice among the elite by the 18th century. Napoleon, many other people who were famous at the time were using it. And yet, even then, there were wise doctors. An English doctor, John Hill, warned of the overuse of snuff, saying it would lead to nasal cancers. How do you like that? He was able to put two and two together. But people don't want to know that today. I mean, I know people who smoke cigars. They sit back and they suck on a cigar. Delicious. And then they drink the heavy alcohol to go with it. They know nothing about the carcinogenic interrelationship between tobacco and alcohol, or they don't care. And they're entitled to it. I mean, I wouldn't stop them. They want to give themselves laryngeal cancer of the larynx or the pharynx. I can't stop them. You can't tell people certain things. It's like barbecued food. You live in the suburbs. These people think that they just discovered fire. I don't understand it how so many white middle-class suburbanites think that they literally stumbled upon fire. Every weekend, in the middle of the rain and the snow and the cold, they're burning foods with the attendant benzoate pyrenes on the meats and on the fish. absolutely condemning themselves to stomach cancers and whatnot. Can't tell them a thing. But then again, here we are. I don't use snuff, I'm be honest with you. But there are many health risks to using this. Don't tell Bloomberg that, because he's liable to look into limiting the size of snuff boxes in New York City. I think the bigger question today is, since I don't give a rat's behind about John Kerry or about any of the, frankly, of the political stories of the day, I don't care. I've reached a point of literally I don't care. I know you don't care, incidentally. So I'm now challenged on the radio every day, since this is largely a political show. But remember, I made my name in radio 18 years ago by declaring the show is about news, views, and reviews. It wasn't just the normal hackneyed garbage of the day that you can hear every different way, cut up like a salami from morning, noon, and night until eventually you didn't want to eat it anymore. No, sirree, Bob, news, views, and reviews. So today I'm talking about museums, snuff boxes, and I'm asking you if museums are still relevant and if you go to museums or whatever else you want to talk about. Does anyone in this audience, because after all, anyone who listens to conservatives such as Michael Savage are knuckle-dragging, right-winger, Neanderthal-esque people. We don't go to museums. That's a place only for the elite liberals, sensitive people, fine people. Conservatives don't go to museums. Now, it would be impossible for you to believe that we actually go and support museums, because that would be counterintuitive. It's a place where only refined liberals go, Obama voters, people who love the people. People who love the poor go to museums. Thank God many of the people who go to museums don't wear identification tags which tell me their politics, or I'd probably stop going, to be honest with you. If you care to talk about anything but John Kerry, I'll be right back to do so.
Savage.